Hello and welcome to SpotLight. Today we have a very special guest, Ahmed Safrar, the CEO of Oman Investment and Finance Company. With over 28 years of experience, both in banking and telecommunications sector, Mr. Safrar has led OIFC through many milestones over the last 7 years. Mr. Safrar, welcome to SpotLight.
Thank you, Nishad, and I'm glad to be with you here at the Arabian Stories Spotlights. I hope I will be able to at least give a clear picture of what have been done recently and shed light on the history of OIFC, Oman Investment and Finance Company, and what are the future that we are hoping to reach.
You were the CEO of OIFC since 2014.
Yes.
And it is the single largest listed company in the country.
Yeah.
How was the journey in the last 7 years?
Yeah. Well, honestly speaking, throughout the last 7 years, there were a massive change, I would say, in lifestyle, technology, end users' requirements. And since day one I joined, it was an agreement between me and the board of directors to look into how we take the company into a different era without compromising on the relationship with our own clients from both sides, whether principals or end users. And since day one, we thought about providing trendy, easy services. 2014 August, I joined. There was several branches, about 50 branches, with 25 payment machines, and all the 5 payment machines are, in fact, only cash. They don't even credit card or debit card can be used on that for several reasons. One, it was a bit expensive. 2, it wasn't the trend at that time that people used too much the plastic cards. And the third one was the bank's commission was quite high. And it was a challenge, honestly speaking, to even convince some even within the management, because they look into the cost versus the technology. And we sacrificed the cost for the technology. We started 2015. Think about our own app, Khidma app, and it was tested July. It was launched in September 2015. That is about 1 year since I joined the company. We also introduced a portal, that's an online payment through our own web at the same time, and we have introduced all the payment machines. We increased them to about 50, and we installed the choice of payment through cards beside cash. And our own payment machine since 2016 upwards are all cashless. So this is, it was difficult to convince the client that used to come to your own branches and wait in queues to convert to an electronic. One, it wasn't the trend anyway. People don't trust the electronic payment that much at that time, because of the cyber frauds and third parties using your own data, whatever. And 2, we are considered as a sort of classic old-fashioned company that we are not at the stage of banks, for example. But it was a legacy with lots of loyal people that would love to deal with. Maybe generation after generation, people convert from the cash queuing concept into the. So we start with literally 2015. Once we launched the payment machine with cards, the website payments portal, and the application, Khidma application, we used to get about 8% electronic or digital payment, I would call it, between e-commerce and swipe in the branches, and 92% cash and checks. Today we are talking about balance 50%. Yes. The values increased from literally zero on our own app. Today we have above 530,000 downloads, and we have an average of 40-ish% of the downloads active every month. And when I say active every month, there are people who will not pay every month, but they are loyal customers. So the average of payment every month across the year is about 40% of the downloads, which represent in a country of 4.5 million population, a good percentage. This is not only the number of transactions, not only because we are the smartest or the only ones, but we were close to people. We understand their concepts. We simplify our own app. We tied up with all the service providers, all the banking system in Oman to have a real-time transaction that ease and give confidence. And we, in fact, use the 3 words: quick or fast, secured, and easy.
Okay.
This is where, and honestly speaking, once we decide we will think about the easy, because people doesn't want to struggle to do a small payment.
True.
Then people think about their own security, and they say you are safe because the last step in the payment is in fact under the bank's control, which is much secured, and there is no any risk on the customer's information or data, and of course the speed as quick as possible. So I think we succeed despite all the challenges, competition within the same services, same clients, same market, newcomers with their own app solutions, service providers themselves, they came up with their own apps and their own solutions, their own reward systems. Despite all of this, I can tell you that I'm in an upside growth of attracting customers from all service providers, because we are the one place to pay all. This is where we consider ourselves so far. So I would look at it as, of course, with the support of the management team, and also many good external technical marketing advisors to reach this level.
But as you said, even the service providers have their certain apps where you can make payments. How different is Khidma compared to this?
Honestly speaking, from the face of it, it's in fact a direction from our own Khidma to their own platforms where they can use their own webs. But people, would choose the easiest. I would love to pay my own in 2 different service electricity providers bills, water. I want to pay my 2 operators telephone and internet all together. If you want to pay, you can still pay through the service providers, and they have an excellent services. They are much bigger, much stronger, much able to spend on their own technology, and they are excellent. But the client would go for the 3 words: easy, secured, and reliable. Where you don't have the speed I'm talking about. So people goes to the one place. We call it, in fact, one place to pay all, because they can just save their own whatever data and save their own debit credit cards without compromising on the security. Just one click, you decide how much you want to pay and do it all. Then you get message from all the service providers at a real time, because if you are paying on a telecom or a electricity or a water government entity in their own website or apps, and you pay through us, you will have the same transaction, because it's all real time. We are also taking the load from those service providers to do the queuing, all of this hassle, to free them to do more of sales, more of product designing, more of offers to their own clients, and we do the back-end service. And then we have a sort of electronic adjustment between us and the service providers.
We are moving into becoming a cashless society, and the government, in fact, is pushing even all the government entities to go digital.
Yes.
You've started this journey, I think, in 2015 onwards.
Yes.
How challenging was that in terms of convincing people to go digital, to go to your app to pay?
Look, honestly speaking, the drivers are not entities like us. We are enablers. The drivers are the end users. End users cannot tolerate anymore to do very classic, old-fashioned, manned queuing systems. They don't have it. Therefore, it was forced that the end service providers, which is the government entities, service companies, telecom companies, banks, to have the same approach to provide the service to the end users. If you look into the public sector service providers, they are excellent. They have a state-of-art platforms, good technology bases, easy APIs to connect to, and the eager and the desire to partner with third parties to serve them somehow, with the sharing of whatever little share of revenues or whatever, or fees. When you go to the government entities, it is a bit difficult to integrate with many of these organizations. sometimes there are individuals, and when I say individuals, means very, very minimal numbers of individuals, doesn't have the same belief that the end user have. Two, probably sometimes the budgeting and planning in certain lines would need too many approvals, where it makes some non-transformational leaders take the efforts to try to push for it. But there is no way but to go to the cashless and all transactions to be converted into electronic payments. The central bank now is regulating a big sector. We are one of two that licensed with payment service provider license in Oman.
Great.
We are going to introduce an e-wallet very soon, and we hope to build on this also to be the middle, hopefully, if it works, to ease the transactions. I think we are one of the important elements of converting cash into cashless. We are now I'm talking about large number of money goes now through our own e-commerce and digital payments rather than the cash or the checks. I think we have no choice but to go to the future. We cannot wait. The government now, with the new government, ministers, they are eager to do more integration and to do more work, and central bank is emphasizing big time on reducing the cashless to minimum.
We all know about the 2040 vision and its importance and how Oman is preparing for it. What is the goal of OIFC in 2040 vision?
Besides the electronic services, we do have other investment arms, I would call them. But honestly speaking, the technology orientation approach is in the heart of our own future plans. We have a 5 years strategy plan that was approved by the board of directors, and we are now, one of them is to have a license from central bank to have an e-wallet, and we are in the process to launch it maybe within months from now, to have a more I would say market share of the electronic payments, to provide services to people consider us as electricity and water and telecom service. No, today we have a government entity, for example, to give you a good example of people eager to change. The Public Authority of Social Services, it is in fact the private sector pension fund. They pay through our own app, webs and branches. We hope to add other service providers that have an excellent presence in the market, like the Royal Police of Oman, maybe the government fees, license, whatever. And services. We can extend this to also the other private sector, like private hospitals, private schools, whatever. This is nothing to say it's our own. It's a market, it's an open market. True. And many people would love to find proper solutions with an appropriate reconciliation system that would prevent risk of carrying money, risk of delays, recruiting too many people, experts in finance, whatever. So we become as a middle service provider that can support both, meet the need of the end users, and provide the service required to do the service easily and faster and better without investing too much from the principles. So we are in the heart of the 2040 vision. We are aiming to be the place that everyone will choose in the future, where you can sit home watching your TV or enjoying your 5 minutes, 10 minutes break in your office to do all the transactions, including your car registrations, if there are fines, municipality taxes, fees, whatever, your commercial registration fees, plus the rest that have been done right now. We are in a process to communicate with all of these entities. There is a better desire than before, but sometimes even the connectivity takes its own time. Legal framework, approval from some authorities, which that within the required probably higher hierarchy of approvals, usually take time. We are also aiming to partner with new technology that could come to Oman. Today itself, we introduce an entertainment catalog, in fact, where you can do, without mentioning too many names, but Netflix subscription, Amazon subscription. Today, we just released a new version of our own app, and we hope to add many others, like working with local transportation systems or the post office or whatever.
42 years of OIFC. I mean, what are the main challenges that you're facing in today's time?
The story behind establishing OIFC, I came very much later, was in fact to handle the collection and billing on behalf of the government. And since then after that, there was another company that was established doing the same mandate. And I would say till 2014, 15, this is their own core business. Well, each company has its own other side. We have, for example, investment that was decided even before me, and I add few other transactions to it, and others are doing some other businesses. But the challenges was, in fact, to convert a company that worked in very, very minimal, small margins into a company eager to create values. We are converted from a company that would work on the spread to make its own living for a year to a company that would have a more of strategy, diversification of services, where we cannot die if a service die or live if the service live. The government today pull away or automate lots of, I would say 80% of the services that the company used to do since inception. But at the same time, we provide them more services that would compromise complement their own needs in the future, rather than without compromising on their own the relation with these companies. For example, we used to do all the billing of electricity and water at home.
Okay.
A few years back, 2017, all the companies took their own billing system into their own as a function that need to be under their own supervision, auditing, etc., which is reasonably acceptable. We used to print close to 600,000 for telecom only, and maybe another 200,000-300,000. It's close to $1 million a month for electricity, water, and telecom.
Okay.
Physical bills.
Okay.
Now this is gone up to maybe 15% of this size.
Okay. Okay.
With this, we are shifting this to also physical bill you can see on the phone, sending through emails. So there are lots of opportunities to be there. It's literally gone, and now we are also, there was the meter reading with now we are working with the NAMA group to work on providing them in the past a symbol of smart metering, among others, not only us. And we are aiming to also work with them to digitize all the electricity and water meters in the future.
Right? Yeah.
There are some projects, but we wish also to help them because we have the technology, we have the expertise, and we are a local company that could provide these services. That would prevent losses, that would prevent lots of physical work. The question is, okay, you have too many people used to do physical work. What are you going to do with those people?
True.
We are training people. We are shifting them to other places. We are putting them in marketing to sell and attract more individuals, SMEs, large organizations to use our own work, and there is no issues. We are growing. They are also learning something new. We found that some people who used to do only a meter reading basic work now are responsible of areas as regional managers. They are in the company, and we have them here. We also have a high immunization. We have close to 950 staff. We are at 95% immunized jobs. Because it's we have an excellent team, and with all the struggle, with all the challenges, with all the, sometimes you find delay in signing papers with government entities, sometimes payments come late, but at the end of the day, we are complementing each other, and I can see within the vision that a lot of collaboration, more of PPP would come. We can also help in some project on behalf of the government towards whether the operation work we are in, or in the technology, or in other as an investment company in other initiatives.
OIFC today has 64 branches. What are your expansion plans?
Many people would probably ask why you are still building branches while you are talking about unexpectable, I would say, growth in the digital approach or customer needs. Most of these branches are in fact contractual, where with the collection of electricity and water, we are obliged to open certain number of branches. 50% of our own transactions, and if you look at transactions, we are talking about between recharge and prepaid and postpaid in telecom, about 6 million clients, if you 6 million accounts. If you look into electricity, close to 1.4 million meters. If you look into water, I'm not sure, but maybe close another close to a million meters. 50% of those people would still prefer to go to branches. And beside the bills, we are looking into how we can monetize the branches for other services. Beside also the 64 branches, we have another 21 branches of an exchange company that's owned by OIFC, where it offers also the collection part of it through debit credit card, and cash. The plan is to either monetize these branches, or in the future convince the service providers that our own technology will replace, and at the same time it will give us a chance to train people to do some other works where we will not have a burden or people idle without work. But the 64 branches of a country with its own, geographical distance, isolated cities would still be needed. For the time being, we are not in hundreds. We see, for example, in the UK. By the way, UK is the same size, literally same size of Oman. There are banks with 3,000 branches.
Yes.
So we are still a very small number of branches comparing to the size of the country and the spread of the I would say the citizens living in small towns. But we are looking to converting our own branches into more society services or other extra services to be given throughout the branches.
On a personal note, frankly, you are one among the longest serving CEOs. I'm sure it was not an easy, journey altogether. Looking back, how was it?
Look, as I said before, there are in fact circumstances, I would say. In 2014, I came from the state-of-art telecom company, and I was a chief customer experience officer with Ooredoo Group. That gave me an insight, I would say, to the future, because we are looking into the customer journey, how to please customers, how to make our service looks better. That, in fact, gave me lots of insights to re-engineer whatever I can do within OIFC. Two, I think the movement of the end users' desire, technology, growth, that all together came to help us somehow to drive. And I have a very supportive board of directors, very, very supportive, futuristic, outlook mindset. That is my own new thoughts with the team. And I have an excellent team that work hard day and night to convert the old, classic, I would say, image where people usually frame as in an old-fashioned 1979, to convert. We introduced the brand Khidma, it wasn't there before. We introduced the new bright colors. We changed all of our own approach. We train people as much as we can to convert into more of a smile customer service approach. And that gave back. I saw the values is probably tripled. The number of transactions is probably 10 times than 2014. We were talking about a large number. This comes, but it also have been squeezed. The prices of each transaction went back maybe 40-50%. Cost of people goes up.
True.
Cost of rent goes up. Fees, government, whatever. But all of this it's an enjoyable. I enjoy the trip. It is with its own challenges, but it is an opportunity for me and those who want to, get eager to see difference. I have on my own screen here every day morning how many people pay through our own all channels. Which channels, how much, which service.
So you're watching us.
I in fact, it's about, I'm eager. I love that, and it is in fact in the list of good number of people who are seriously 7 o'clock once or 8 o'clock when they reach the office. Before probably their cup of coffee, they will look into this. And if it come late for any reason, all of us will get an alert, because it's like a breaking news for us every day morning. And that it gives us how much people are in fact keen to continue, not only to just do, but to do more services. and how much keen those who does the services or did the services will convince their own friend and family to use the service. And it was honestly much beyond our own expectations. And I say circumstances also helped. Trend, technology growth, end users requirements, government and the the government companies desire to do the changes, and the spirit of team. In fact, it's something that a good story to talk to my grandsons about.
Okay.
in such things, it's nice. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Safrar. It was an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you for being on Spotlight.
Thank you very much, Nishad. It's my pleasure also to join your team. I think it's a very interesting and insightful questions. I hope that I covered
Yes.
whatever required. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks.